On behalf of Premier Girls Fast Pitch, this is Olympic gold medalist Amanda Freed, and my name is Darren Sutton. Welcome to the 18U national title game at the platinum level. First off, it's very important for this tournament, and it has over the last half-decade, to grow to a national level. With that in mind, the team out of Illinois, south of Chicago, the Illinois Stars, let's start with them because they represent what PGF's trying to do. They battled their way here from Illinois.
Well, and leading up to today, we saw a lot of out-of-state teams really make a strong presence up through this tournament, and today it's exciting to see that team from Illinois, the Stars, come out and try and battle a program who really has a huge reputation out here in Southern California.
Expound upon that when you talk about the Batbusters Briggs. They went through the Platinum Division, a 6-0 roll, a bunch of Division I commits on that team.
No, absolutely, and they just have a program and organization that has dated back for decades of producing these top athletes, so we see what they're able to do at this level right here. These girls going off to college in a couple years, if not this year, and it's going to be a fun fight today, and we're excited to watch both teams just go to work.
The winner stamps their ticket to the Premier Division. Here's all the action.
It's a beautiful night in Southern California. Low layer of clouds overhead. You can feel the marine layer here at the Anna Manning Stadium, Bill Barber Park in Irvine, about 15 minutes from the Pacific Ocean. And the starting lineup for the Batbusters Briggs: Paige Von Spreken at the top, Allie Dickman, Lauren Espelin, Gabrielle Calloway, Maddie Roth, Jordan Hounson, Allison Harvey, and Olivia Russ. Amanda Lejano is batting in the 9th spot. We're glad to have you with us. We're playing softball, and the Batbusters have those bats rolling right away. Paige Von Spreken with the base hit against Mackenzie Marquis, who's in the circle.
Well, and right out of the gates, that first pitch, the first good one she sees, takes it into left field. Gets it off the end of the bat, but enough power behind it to get out there.
Mackenzie Marquis goes to work. She is committed to Illinois Wesleyan. She's done a heck of a job this tournament, a 1.47 ERA.
Well, it's such a good job throughout this tournament, and her coach just says, you know, she never seems to feel the pressure, and that's the kind of person you want in this circle, in this situation, a situation where there's a lot riding on this game, but to have that kind of confidence in the circle is huge.
Allie Dickman, number 21 on that jersey. Trying to move that runner along. 5 of 23, as you can see. Rolls that one toward the hole, leaving her feet from short. A couple of Batbusters on. Holly McLaughlin had to play in tight, the third baseman. Emily Karstens, by the time she got to that softball, it was a base hit.
And Karstens looked like she broke a little towards shortstop. You can see her weight shifting up the middle. That ball hit to her right side, so had to leave her feet to keep it on the infield.
So Dickman is on. She's a Mission Viejo resident and a Capo Valley High School star. Headed to the University of Utah. So with a couple of runners on, they pass the torch to Lauren Espelin with a chance to move them around out of Glendora, California. St. Lucy's Priory School, and a nice job, 6 of 18, as you can see. Got a pair of walks as well, so she's been on 8 times in this tournament. The Briggs squad, the Batbusters team, as that one is lifted to right. An easy chance runner, tags, at least draws a throw on one hop to third. Callie DeLisi makes the play out there in right field. Both of these teams 6-0. Funny, too, with the Stars, you know, they came out here knowing that it was a great opportunity to play. Obviously, you know the end game. You can move to the higher division. But I don't think they expected to go this far. They had tickets to the Dodgers game last night. I know Carol Lenz, the third member of our broadcast team, has a lot to educate us throughout the game about this team from about an hour south of Chicago, though players are from all over Illinois. They've surprised themselves. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Well, hey, if you're going to come out to California, you might as well plan on doing some fun things in worst case scenario, best case scenario, actually. You have to cancel and you get to play more ball.
You'd rather be playing under the lights than paying to watch someone else play under the lights, right?
Absolutely.
Gabrielle Calloway, headed to the University of Alabama defensively. Working behind the hurler Marquis. Pusateri in center field. Hagemaster behind home plate. And the bases are loaded. That defense would love to work that walk. Puts him in a bit of a spot. So a tight spot right out of the gates for Batbusters Briggs. When you look at Batbusters, the squad, a 4.2 run per game average coming in, hitting .296 as a team. And going 6-0, both teams are stars as well out of Illinois going 6-0. Maddie Roth, outside corner, strike one to Maddie. The DP in this contest out of Esperanza High School, makes her home in Yorba Linda, California. Infield fly, popped up to the first base side. Well, that's a big second out there.
What if the Stars can get themselves out of this situation, this inning? They're in pretty good shape. They're going to need to turn on the heat on their offense and try and grab a little bit of that momentum back.
Jordan Townsend now swings the bat. Jordan 4 hits, 17 at bats, has driven in 4 in this tournament. 1-0 the count on Jordan. Yorba Linda High School. Sister Taylor plays softball at UConn. Base is full. That drop misses outside. 2-0 the count. Eddie Lemus, our home plate umpire, will introduce you to the rest momentarily. Eddie calling balls and strikes, informing all of us 2-0 is the count. Two balls and one strike. Jeff Samuels, Ron Dravol, and Noel Baca rounding out the crew. Nowhere to put him, 3-1 to count. Long time out of that batter's box for Jordan Townsend. Now she's ready. On 3-1, 3-2. Couple of hits in the inning, a walk as well. Got her, pulled the string back, down she goes on strikes. Now that'll create some momentum in that dugout. It's been a long journey from south of Chicago. Figure if we come this far, ladies, we may as well win it all. We'll swing the bats in a moment. The 18U Platinum Division PGF National Championships. At the bottom of the first we go. The starting lineup for the Illinois Stars. Miranda Southall is in left field. Alyssa Busiteri, Emily Karstens, Carly Maupin, Ellen Hagemaster, Colleen McLaughlin, McKenna Emerson, Callie DeLisi, and Erin McMahon. Dealing with Paige Von Spreken, Yorba Linda High School. She's headed to USD to play softball, the University of San Diego.
Well, this will be fun to watch Paige come out here, and you know, she's got a good rise curve. She throws some off speed, and her team had a chance to score and get her on top, let her go out there and throw a little bit relaxed, but hey, instead she's got to go out there and just shut them down and get them back in the dugout.
So Miranda's turn to lead things off. Miranda Southall That slightly open stance up and away. We've seen the Corona Angels represented prominently in this tournament, and for the last couple of years, our pitcher, Paige Von Spreken, pitched for the Angels, the Corona Angels, and made the move in June here, and an opportunity to play for a national title.
So an illegal pitch was called on that last pitch. We'll try and figure out exactly what the call was. And I'm guessing it has something to do with that right foot, that push off, and you could see how it leaves the ground slightly. That's the only thing I can think that he's calling from that angle would be a crow hop. So the rule on the crow hop is when you leave that mound, your initial push off is your only push. You've got to keep that front foot, that trail foot in contact with the dirt throughout your motion. In her case, it comes off the dirt an inch or so and then replants.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count, with that one being fouled off. So to simplify it, she's living with her mechanics kind of on the edge.
Definitely, and especially now it's been called a couple of times really early in this ball game, and as a pitcher, you don't want to have to focus on keeping your motion legal when you're trying to face a national championship caliber team, and so it's got to be a little bit upsetting right now for Paige Von Spreken. And you can see it is that the foot that is in front of the mound when she pushes off comes off the dirt, comes back down into her drag, and we'll take another look here. That back foot right there off, and you could see it bent and it's off the dirt, will come back down into the dirt before her drag. The rule is that foot has to stay in contact with the dirt throughout your motion, and you know, it's kind of a good thing for a lot of young pitchers out there to look at that and to really understand what's legal and what's not in your pitching motion, so you don't get to an age where it's difficult to correct muscle memory, something that you've developed over years.
So the hurler goes back to work. Slapped foul up the third base line. Miranda waited through all of this and has to count full. 4 of 17 with a walk as well, so been on 5 times in this, her 7th game. Trying to reach here to get things started. Waiting a long time, Von Spreken, as she bounces in the circle and time is called. He was shaking signs and had almost a spring-like look in that leg as she was awaiting the sign that she wanted. Roseanne Briggs, you saw her in the dugout a moment ago as that one has fell off. Ken Briggs, who came out to discuss things, the head coach, husband and wife, Tracy Townsend as well, part of that coaching squad. And Danny Murakami. So he'll keep his eye on his hurler very closely as the 3-2. It's fired home and a great at bat. Southall really making them work. A 1.17 earned run average for Batbusters Briggs in their 6-0 run into the championship game. 42 innings, 44 strikeouts as a team, and just 11 walks. And she won't go away.
And you know what? The longer she stays in there and the more balls she fouls off, the more likely she might get Von Spreken to throw another illegal pitch and get herself on first base.
She's fouled off 5 pitches. She's earned herself a walk. Heck of an at bat. That's a starter right there. That is a rally starter, and Miranda is on. Defensively, Callaway, Thies, Dickman in the outfield. Townsend, Harvey, Lejano, Russ on the infield. Espelin working behind the plate and trying to kind of guide Von Spreken through a rocky start with regard to her delivery, and I would imagine kind of her emotions as well, as that one is pushed up the first base line and foul. Foul ball. It was picked up in foul territory by Olivia Russ. Alyssa Pusateri has played for a decade now. She is headed to Olivet Nazarene University, which is right there in the hometown of this team, about 56 miles south of Chicago. Bourbonnais, Illinois. Bourbonnais, Illinois. Bunted, third base side. Big Sunday hop played very nicely. Jordan Townsend charges in at third. Runner moves up. Bourbonnais, by the way, the training town, if you will, of the Chicago Bears as they prepare for the season. So I know the Bears are in town. We understand that's kind of a big deal, but we realize that most of the city now focused on this online.
And why wouldn't they be?
So,
great softball.
It's all well and good that that other team from the other city is there. But our home team is actually playing for a Platinum National title. Let's get our priorities straight here, folks. 0-1 the count to Emily Karstens. In on the hands as that one is rolled foul. I mean, we're talking about practice. Practice for the other group. 0-2 the count. I always find it interesting, too. This is a squad with 10. You have to go win 6 games. You're away from home. You're sleeping in a hotel. 1 reserve. 0-2. Down she goes. Karstens goes down on strikes.
And a good setup with this down and out. That's just a nice spot. It's tough for any hitter to put in play.
Number 12.
Carly Maupin fouls that one off.
Miranda Southall out at second base, tipping off the pitches. I think this is what that conversation is going to be about.
So if you make it obvious for the runner at second base, they'll help the hitter out, correct?
Yeah, so they're going to mix up the signs. And if you're on the runner on second base, you want to give your teammate some tips as to where that ball might be going. I'm going to do it a little bit more subtle. Maybe you can get away with it a little bit longer.
0-1 the count, Carly Maupin. Keep an eye on our center field shot if, in fact, she picks it up again. They shake up the signs, nothing doing now. 1-1 the count. To be fair, legendary pitcher, great career. You had one, an Olympian as well. You shouldn't make it easy for the opposing team, though. I understand they should be discreet, but mixing it up is somewhat mandatory.
And I think it's a good idea as a staff. You tell each other, okay, if somebody were to get on second base, immediately we go to plan B, which is mixing up the signals. Because once they do pick those, they know the numbers, they know the signs, and then it's easier to pick later on. So to avoid any kind of, distraction in the game, halt in the game where you have to come together and reanalyze, it's something you really should be taking care of in practice.
1-2 the count. Runner in scoring position. It's a little wave to home plate there as that one is fouled off. And in that case, maybe just tipping location there. You could see her hold her hand up. And the pitch was actually away. The key is you may know the location, But there's a huge difference between, let's say, a rise ball and a changeup.
And definitely. And
Even
you
if it's
still
outside.
You still have to be able to hit it. And as a hitter, I didn't like to know the location. What if she missed? Because I'm a pitcher and I know I miss locations too.
There's that rise ball. 2-2 the count. Headed to Lewis University. That's where Carly has committed. High and inside. She hit her there.
Miss a screwball or maybe a rise ball inside.
Number 40.
Almost a good spot. But Maupin's got her toes way up on that chalk line. Doesn't allow much room for error.
Ellie Hagemaster is the catcher. And a chance to make them pay with regard to the walk and the hit batter. 0-1 the count. Ellie, given birth name Ellen. In the hole, no balls in one strike. 0-2 as that one runs away. Out of Peatone High School in Peatone, Illinois. About an hour south of Chicago as well, all in that same area. That was easy enough. A lot of scrutiny of her delivery and a couple of base runners. One even plunked, but in the end, she cleaned it up very nicely. Scoreless through one. Let's bring in Kara Lentz, former University of Michigan star athlete, and she is the third member of our broadcast team. Glad to have you, Kara.
Thank you, Darren. I spoke with Tony Pusateri before the start of this game, and originally the Illinois Stars were supposed to be heading back to Chicago tonight at this exact time. Obviously, they had to change that flight schedule. They were also supposed to attend the Dodgers-Cubs game Friday night. Couldn't go to that because of the fact that they were progressing through the tournament here, playing in the finals today. Coach said it's an absolute opportunity of a lifetime, and they really couldn't picture being anywhere else.
That's great stuff, Kara, and I'm hoping we've all been there, that the airline worked with them on those change fees. I mean, a great effort going down in the foul territory trying to run that one down. As that one is on the first base side. Carly Maupin gave it a real go there. Allison Harvey out of Mission Viejo High School makes her home in Foothill Ranch in Orange County. Shannon, his mom, Steve, dad. And Allison gives that one a ride straight away center field. Alyssa Pusateri there to make the play for the out. I know it makes life tough. And a lot of you that are watching right now online are parents. I know it makes life tough, but it makes it worth it. Spending a few extra dollars for memories like this for these players. I guess that's what credit's for. You pay them back when you can if you have to pay for those change fees. 1-0 the count. to Olivia Russ.
And I can just imagine the conversations. If we stay, you had better win this game.
Right, Mom, because then it's not worth it if we didn't win. All the things we've done to this point. I mean, if you're planning on going to a Dodgers game last night, you probably were thinking, who knows how late you'd be playing then. That's great. I'm wondering if the parents made all the side plans. The girls had other plans. Into the dirt it goes. 2-2 the count to Russ. Very close to home. She was from Huntington Beach, where she was playing a lot of her play-in games to this point. Ocean View High School, headed to Georgetown, which means she was killing it in the classroom, and good for her. One of your favorite notes Olivia wrote down, Mike Trout, her favorite player, but she wrote Mike Trout with all the letters of the alphabet that spell out Mike Trout. In on the knuckles, and the Angels star would be proud of that base hit. He's kind of fought it off there. And so she is on with a base hit, Olivia Russ.
Amanda Lejano, number 22.
Well, and not the most barrel on the ball, but enough to get it into left field. And whatever it takes to get base runners.
Bunted, dies out in front of the circle. Nice play, turning it into an out. Amanda Lejano with a sac bunt. 1-4 with the second baseman covering. To finish the thought on Russ, who you can see out there at second base, she wrote Mike Trout and exactly 6 hearts. And in parentheses, my love, Mike Trout. So, Olivia, hopefully Mike checked out your approach. He's used to being out there in scoring position all the time for the Angels. 2 outs in the inning. And a quick visit from Tony Pusateri. Jeff Emerson, part of that coaching staff as well. Tony's team, by the way, 43 innings of work in this tournament, a 1.30 ERA.
Next up for the Batbusters, number 48, Paige Von Spreken.
Paige Von Spreken fouls it off, the hurler and the pitcher for the Batbusters. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Batbusters trying to follow the Batbusters at the premier level, the OC Batbusters premier level team. Batbusters Stith, who beat the Corona Angels for a PGF National Championship in this very stadium in a previous contest, so we congratulate them. And that certainly would be a feather in the cap for the club to have a winner in both brackets. Not this time, Alyssa Pusateri said, you're not going to run around on us. Not now, anyway. Leaving her feet into the right center field gap. No RBI. She just took it away. Scoreless contest, the Batbusters and the Stars. Glad to have you with us. Colleen McLaughlin will lead things off.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning, number 23, Colleen McLaughlin.
Colleen out of Lincoln Way Central High School. Heading to Kankakee Community College. Fouls that one back right off the backstop here. Kankakee County, the county that surrounds Bourbonnais. To the right side, off the screen it goes. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Scoreless contest. Illinois Stars. Paige Von Spreken misses in. Good 0-2 pitch, though. 1-2 the count of McLaughlin. Her favorite hitter, her favorite player, Jose Abreu. Well, he is really a story. The Cuban native for the Chicago White Sox. If you like to hit, you think you can hit. Watch and learn. To the right side. Tried to use the entire diamond, but unfortunately, Olivia Russ was there. And Mike Trout would have liked that play, Olivia.
She's not going to live this down. McLaughlin gets a decent part of the bat on that, considering how far outside it was. And she was battling with 2 strikes, but Russ just in the perfect spot.
McKenna Emerson has had quite a go of it as she fouls that one off. Emerson has 4 hits and 18 at-bats, but she's also walked 3 times. And that, on the line for this squad, for the Stars, it's been a very patient week. 275 team batting average, but an on-base percentage that is 70 points higher than that. They have earned 18 walks. And Emerson right at the front of the pack of helping herself with patience. She's in a hole now, though. No balls and 2 strikes. Coal City High School in Coal City, Illinois. Three pitches, down she goes. 3 strikeouts for Paige.
Now batting, number 10, Callie Elise.
And take a look at the location of that pitch. A little bit high and slightly out of the zone. And that's what you call attacking the strike zone and going right at a hitter. 3 strikes.
Callie DeLisi. 0-1 the count. Callie out of Oak Forest, and Oak Forest High School in Illinois. Three of 17 on this national championship run, with a pair of walks as well. Big hits, though. Her 3 hits have produced 6 RBIs. So though her batting average 176, she leads her team in runs batted in. It's a type of hits, and when you get them, that can make the biggest difference. 2-1 the count. See the deal Paige did with some scrutiny from Jeff Samuels, first base umpire, with regard to her delivery and leaving the ground as she fires the ball home. She handled it very nicely. It was in her head for a minute, you could tell. It took her a couple of pitches. She stepped off a few times, couldn't get her mind right with signs, but got to give her credit.
Well, especially when that gets called multiple times in the first inning of a ball game, you're thinking to yourself, wow, this could be a pretty long game if I don't fix something, but she settled down nicely.
– 3-1, it's hot. So Callie is on. Not a ton of aggressive base running with regard to base stealing. Just 2 stolen bases for the Illinois Stars.
Now batting for the Stars, number 1, Erin McMahon.
Carolyn standing by with more. Kara, glad to have you back with us.
Thank you, Darren. Well, Paige Von Spreken is an AP honor roll student at her high school. She takes AP classes in econ, government, and science. And if she doesn't perform to that A or A+ average, she's a little difficult and hard on herself, according to her mother, and has faced a lot of obstacles when she was younger. She was a late bloomer, didn't really come around until her freshman or sophomore year. Jackie Robinson, a hero of hers because of the obstacles that he faced, and somebody that she certainly can turn to for inspiration.
That's great stuff. Thank you, and congratulations for the work she does in the classroom, as that one has rolled foul. And it's always fun to see some athletes, especially of the next generation of athletes, that look back a few generations and find someone to inspire them, which means you have to take the time to study those athletes.
Yep, I agree. And there's so many, present and past, to draw inspiration from.
0-2 the count. You know, I got a giggle out of Kara Lentz, our third broadcaster on this group, because she had to come back over. I realized a lot of times she's in a wireless situation. Sometimes she has to wire up, and you know, I hollered at her. She's been amazing going down in these seats with the families and into the dugouts, getting these stories. I think I interrupted some of her research, hollering to her, and she had to come all the way across. So that's why I got a little laugh out of her when I thanked her for joining us. That wasn't really my intent, though. 1-2 the count, because I was just educated that she had to plug in. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. On the outside corner. She may have to overcome quite a bit. She had to deal with her delivery early on. I wanted to put it under some scrutiny. I'll be just fine, she says.
Batbusters, number 21.
Still no score here as we enter the top of the third in Irvine, California, and it's been a long journey for a lot of teams throughout the past few weeks, and it's also been a long journey for Sheila Bartlett, a mother of Ashley Bartlett on the Illinois Stars team. Earlier today, the team had a sign that said, "No one stands alone," and before their trip out here, Sheila was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. Once she returns to Chicago, she will have a double mastectomy and actually had to postpone that surgery just so she could come out to California, see her daughter play, see her team play. You'll also notice the pink ribbons that the girls are wearing in their hair. Those were made by the coach's daughter, Alyssa Pusateri, in honor of Sheila Bartlett, and she said it's just been an absolutely dream come true, and it truly is a family here on the Illinois Stars.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Our thoughts and prayers with Sheila and with Ashley and her dad, David, as a family as they go through that. Kind of puts it all in perspective, doesn't it? I know PGF very involved with the John Wayne Cancer Institute. It's a very important part. As the runner moves up there, they're continuing to keep an eye on the pitchers and their delivery. But just to finish the thought, which is a little bit more important, quite frankly, than this, the John Wayne Cancer Institute benefits with a focus on breast cancer with regard to Premier Girls Fast Pitch. And I would imagine Ashley's mind a lot of places right now.
Oh, absolutely. And it's always important to remember that there's things so much more important, so much bigger than this game that we sometimes tend to bubble ourselves up in. And it's good to gain perspective from time to time. And there are just things that are more important. And family is that thing.
An illegal pitch is called. That moves the runner up. So Dickman with the base hit. Espelin popped up back of second. This could be a tough play. A little leap in the end, and a nice job by McMahon, who makes the play. We saw McMahon make the final out of the last inning out of Grant Park High School. She is headed to Purdue, the second baseman for the Stars. Gabrielle Calloway. So Gabrielle goes to Poway High School, which is in Southern California, but her home in her hometown where she was born, Mobile, Alabama. So from Poway, she's excited to head back to the University of Alabama to play some SEC softball, and a nice job again. Johnny on the spot, McMahon. Two nice plays back to back. Again, she'll tell you they were easy. They didn't look as such.
McMahon has to run a long way for this, and directly behind second base. You can see Parsons bails out early. Pusateri gives lay to McMahon, who makes a nice play.
No balls and one strike the count to Maddie Roth. To right center field, toward the gap it goes. This one is down. This one should play to run. Heading into second with the slide, a double and an RBI. And the Batbusters on top by a score of 1-0. Maddie Roth gets it done.
And coming up with a clutch base hit into right center field, Maddie Roth squares up on a pitch that was right down Broadway, to be quite frank. And you know, sometimes as a pitcher, you think you can get away with a pitch, and then you look at these elite athletes, and the best ones capitalize on those mistakes, and the Batbusters just come up with that key hit.
So a pinch runner for the pinch runner. Chloe Romero at first had come out, then the decision was made to let Callie Thies, the flex, I should say, come out and run. But Maddie Roth, whose sister plays at Mizzou, comes up with a huge, huge hit. 1-0 the count. And now Jordan Townsend. One ball and one strike the count. Jordan struck out in the first inning. Goes over the top of that one, a ball and two strikes. Townsend 4 of 18 on the tournament, but with 4 walks. Two balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Gary Hanning, one of the founders of PGF, and a vice president, and by the way, a national champion coach earlier today, will be joining us in the top of the 4th inning. Question or two about his title, but then a big picture discussion about PGF, as that one is high, and a chance to add on. So Townsend walks for the 5th time to go along with 4 hits.
Next up to the plate for the Batbusters, number 17, Allison Harvey. Number 17.
One and 0 the count on Allison Harvey. Ken's Marquis. Her teammates call her Ken's. McKenzie deals it. Down the line it goes. Foul ball. That would have played at minimum 1.
And watch how quick her hands are through the zone. On this inside pitch, barrel goes directly to ball. She even opens up that hip a little bit, allowing her hands to clear through and hit extremely solid, just a little foul.
2-1 the count on Harvey. Evening it up, 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and a pair of outs. At Mission Viejo High School CIF championships in 13 and in 14, but this time the CIF champ unable to deliver yet another RBI, but Maddie Roth did, and because of that, the Batbusters lead it in this Platinum 18U PGF title game, 1-0. Paige Von Spreken completing a warm-up toss as she and her squad, the OC Batbusters, on top of the Illinois Stars, 1-0. Glad to have you with us for the 18U Platinum National Championship game premiere girls fast pitch. Miranda Southall takes outside. 1-0 the count on Miranda. She walked but was stranded back in the first inning. Miranda picked up the game-winning hit yesterday to advance to this, the PGF Championship title game, one of her thrills. And she takes a ball high and inside, 2-0 the count. Nickname there at the bottom of your graphic. Now, I don't know if you just say moo or if you moo like a cow would do. Either way, one of the better fun nicknames. We've had some interesting ones.
I love to know the background story.
2-1 the count. Five hits already for the Batbusters. Looking for their first hit, the Illinois Stars. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count.
A reminder to the fans out there, all foul balls are to be taken home as PGF souvenirs. Do not throw them back.
That was fun. They just made a quick reminder to the fans that PGF softballs that are being used and the authentic championship caliber softballs, please don't bring them back as you would have in most of the 18, 16, 14, 12-year-old games. Keep them as a souvenir. That one high, 3-2 the count. Miranda has not made her college decision as of yet. Hopes to play collegiately. Into center field. Breaking back and then coming in. Callie Thies is there. So a walk and now fly out to center field for Southall. And then Alyssa Pusateri now dropped down a pretty sack bunt. Has played a heck of a center field. Made a nice play earlier. Liz with 4 S's, 34. She'd like for you to follow her on Twitter if you're so inclined. 0-1 the count as she swings right through. Kara Lentz with a little bit more on Alyssa. Kara, what do you have for us?
If you take a closer look to Alyssa's left ankle, her left foot, you'll notice there's a brace there. She's actually playing with a broken foot. It is not healed yet after getting hit with a pitch in the qualifying tournament in Peoria. When she's not playing softball and sightseeing around here in Southern California, she's actually wearing that boot. So mom taking on some extra duties to wrap that ankle, wrap that foot. But just so you know, that is not fully healed.
Goodness gracious. Good for her. 1-1 the count. Popped up and into the seats. She is headed to Olivet Nazarene, which is, as we told you earlier, right there in Bourbonnais. All right, so all you youngsters that are logged on, you softballers that might be watching that would like to use the "I have a broken foot, I can't go to school" excuse, it's out now. 1-2 the count. Two and two. Now, this is not the case in the Pusateri home, so I don't want to imply this, but there are some sports parents out there who might allow their child to maybe forego a day at school, but make sure you get to your game.
I agree. I think that happens more times than we think.
2-2 the count. Inside, late call, screwball, Frozer. Frozer, home plate umpire. Eddie Lemus for a minute does a heck of a pitch.
Well, it almost appears to cross up Espelin behind the plate. This ball comes back in hard, and you see it does land on that inside corner. But Espelin takes a step to that outside, looking for maybe a curveball or a drop on the outside. Instead, that ball takes a turn for the end.
1-0 the count on Emily Karstens. She too headed to Olivet Nazarene. Dad is Mark, mom Janine. One to nothing our score, bottom of the third. The count evens up at 1-1. So again, a ticket to the premier level of the national championship tournament next year at stake. You win this contest, and obviously the qualifiers, one way to get here, but you're immediately extended an invite, correct?
Yep. So while you're here, you might as well just win.
Yeah,
and you don't have to worry about the qualifying process next year.
And maybe some fewer plane tickets since they had to all change their plane tickets to head back. Again, Kara told us earlier, if you're just logged on, that the squad they just made their plans. They were heading back tonight. Wheels up. On their way to, I would imagine, O'Hare, and then to drive south about an hour. Plans changed, and an opportunity for a quick ticket to the highest level of women's softball at the 18U level. We'll do it again, a ball and 2 strikes. What are your thoughts thus far on Paige Von Spreken?
It's nice to see her settle in since that first inning when she was having those illegal pitches called. She's doing a nice job. She's keeping runners off base. I mean, obviously there's zeros across the board. If you take a look at that scoreboard, runs, hits, errors, I mean, there's nothing going on. So when you see that, obviously your pitcher's doing her job.
Karsten hangs around with a nice 2-strike approach. 6 of 20 on this tournament. So in an even 300, she has the lone long ball, the lone home run in this tournament for the Illinois Stars. She's also walked 3 times as well. Two and 2 the count. National championships at the 12U level, SoCal A's Mercado, 18U, the premier, the OC Batbusters. We'll hear from Gary Hanning in a bit about that title. On across the diamond, and in time for the out. 1, 2, 3, they go. 4 in a row, sat down. Gary Hanning will join us in a bit. Glad to have you back. 1-0 is the score. The OC Batbusters on top. Batbusters Briggs, and Batbusters Briggs trying to bring home a title. Earlier we had a Batbusters at the premier level with the national championship. Coach Stith, Coach Campbell, Coach Hay, and I'm leaving some out, but Gary Hanning, who is a vice president and one of the founders of PGF, part of that coaching staff as well. Gary, congratulations. That had to be a fun day for you, especially for the coaches and for the players and their families.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was nice to see the kids play so well. It was nice to see such a clean game. Seems it would have been a good game to watch. No errors. All the runs were scored on legitimate hits. Yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah, pitching really was a part of the day for both teams, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, Taylor pitched great. She actually was, her changeup is normally her best pitch. It was not as sharp as normal, but she made up with it with other pitches and threw a couple good changeups in times that mattered.
2-2 the count. We remind you of Olivia Russ, who singled back in the second inning. Gary Hanning joining us, as that one is high and inside. That is ball 4. So Russ is on with the walk. So all these coaches came together, you guys, and I certainly wasn't trying to embarrass you, but it's a fact. You have more than 100 years experience of coaching softball. That's not meant to age you. That's meant to show the wisdom, but yet you kind of had to be selfless with all that experience together. Explain how that worked.
Well, I think it's a matter of each of us having something to do and worrying about our particular job, our role, and helping in other areas when needed, but not infringing upon other things and not having egos and not, I have to coach third base, I have to call pitches. There's a lot of that goes on, and it's self-defeating.
Lejano drops down a beautiful bunt and a visit out there to discuss things. And it looks like a change will be made. A hug and a change, as we heard about earlier in this contest, Ashley Bartlett. And it looks like Ashley may get the call to go to work. Quickly, though, a look back of what occurred earlier today. Gary joining us. And these are some of the spectacular moments, some of the big hits. There was nothing that went on for either team a time through the order. Your second time through is where your hitters adjusted.
Yeah, well, Rachel, I believe, was Marty's pitcher. And she was throwing very well, throws very hard. And we weren't catching up, and we were chasing balls up in our eyes. But little by little, made some adjustments and worked out in the end.
So the celebration there. So for as many years as you've been a part of this, and you know the double-digit titles and national titles you have won, I bet that joy, that shot right there, never gets old for you.
No, it never gets old. No, the one thing you have to do is you have to kind of look around and realize what happened, because it goes away so fast. And, you know, a week from now you'll be sitting around going, darn, it's over with. So you really need to kind of look around and see the people around you and see the stands and kind of take it in and say, you know, this was cool.
So the change is made, by the way, Emily Karstens, and I spoke in error, my apologies, but Emily Karstens is now the pitcher. Number 22 on the jerseys. And so Karstens pitches the DP in that situation. McKenna Emerson, as the runner moves up on a stolen base. McKenna Emerson is now the shortstop. Gary Hanning joining us. All right, so PGF, that's the bigger picture, and that's your passion, helping to found this entire situation. Just a magical now 2 weeks are wrapping up with this national title game. Reflect, if you will, on some of the high points for you. Obviously, not only in the years, but really in these 2 weeks.
Well, I think that little by little, year by year, it's becoming more what we envisioned when we started. We're getting good out-of-state teams. It's not an all-California thing. If you look at the quarterfinals in any of the age groups, you'll see that when it got to the final 16, it was often 7, 8, 9 out-of-state teams. And California teams are still winning more often at the end, but as it has changed in college, it may change for us too.
Deep left field, out of here! Paige Von Spreken will touch them all. Paige with a long ball. A little bit shaken up earlier with regard to her delivery. Amanda, that mine is free, that bat is easy.
Well, you can go out there when you're in that circle and throw real freely when you've got a few runs on the board. You know, speaking from a pitcher, you can go out and relax, and it's so nice to see Paige go out and help herself out a little bit with this big-time shot over left field. Great hands, great extension, good power.
That is her 4th home run, 4th of the tournament. Gary, look, you're playing Platinum, you're playing Premier. You play 6, then 7 games, and you knock 4 over the boards. That's an illustrious total.
That is an illustrious total. Yeah, she's had a great tournament.
And the Batbusters' success, we've been talking with Gary Hanning about the success across the boards of the Batbusters. And a national championship earlier today on one hop at the first. Emily Dickman makes the play. You know, obviously at the Platinum level trying to win a national championship, but a deep team history overall for the Batbusters. And all of the titles that you have been a part of. And the Olympians, the national team members, the college All-Americans. You strike me as a guy that probably doesn't even want us to attach your name to that resume because you don't do it for that reasons, but you've had sort of a spectacular career.
Well, there's been many people that have contributed to all of that, though. The All-Americans realize that's through all 3 teams. Okay, those weren't all first teams. But there's been many coaches that have won national championships for the name Batbusters, not just me. And I was not even the first, as a matter of fact. And I'm always proud to have my name associated with Batbusters, but it is not just me by a long, long shot.
Humility, 1-0 the count. Quickly back to Premier Girls Fast Pitch and the Futures Division, thinking about a new way to build this entire group. Explain, please.
Well, what we're looking to do is there's a whole nother level of travel softball. I don't want to say underneath, but it is unaware of this world. They go out on Sundays and they play. They go to a tournament, they get their 5 games in. But there are kids at that level that do aspire to college, that do aspire. And so we're trying to have a level where those kids can have their fun and have their weekend games, but still see a means to get to the next level. And for those that are happy with their weekend games, that's fine. There's, you know, everybody started playing this game because they loved it. And if that's your level, more power to you.
2-2 the count. 3-0 is the score. Gary Hanning joining us, Vice President, PGF, and a national champion coach earlier today. As that one is slapped foul. The relationship, I have to ask, with the John Wayne Cancer Institute, thousands of dollars being raised by the players and their families, a point of pride for you, I would imagine. Yes,
that was something that Dan started about 4 years ago with Surf City. And our October Showcase, each team pays $100 extra to enter our Surf City October Showcase. And he carried it over into PGF, and it's great to see that participation of the teams, that they don't have to do it.
Softball gets loose, a couple of miscues. Extra running around the diamond, all the way around comes Espelin to score. Callaway goes all the way to third. An unfortunate set of circumstances for the Stars.
On this ball, a couple hops in that hole, definitely playable, just a little bit mishandled, and then the throw to third gets away from McLaughlin, scoring a run, and Callaway makes her way all the way to third.
So 4-0 is the score. Runner all the way to third. No balls and 1 strike the count on Maddie Roth. She doubled in a run back in the 3rd inning. Rolled out toward third. That's a foul ball. Finish your thoughts. You were expounding on Dan putting together the group to raise money for John Wayne at the Surf City at the showcase, and then?
Yeah, and then we decided this year that we would ask the teams to participate that came here. And it's been very well received. The last that we spoke about it, he said he thought they had raised like $35,000 between the 2 weeks. And that's not bad.
And one of the moms of the team from Illinois, Sheila Bartlett, Ashley's mom, is down there as part of the Illinois Stars. As that one is hit on a line out toward short, she has to win her battle with breast cancer. Gary, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Gary Hanning joining us, and he brought that long ball touch, by the way, just like the Batbusters like to do it. Up, over, and out. 4-0, they're on top. So Carly Maupin to lead things off for the Illinois Stars. Amanda Freed, Darren Sutton, glad to have you with us. Kara Lentz, the third member of our broadcast team. We'll hear from her in a bit. And Carly takes a pitch that is high. 1-0 the count, hit by a pitch back in the first inning. Destined for Lewis University. And a big Cubs fan. High pop-up right side on the infield. Olivia Russ is there, and she makes the play. So far, so good. Now there's been a walk. There's been a hit batter. Another walk in the second inning. A clean third, but seeking their first hit to this point, the Illinois Stars. Ellie Hagemaster now. Pitch called a little bit low. Pretty good first pitch. 1-0 the count. First base side of that rubber in the circle. That one sails high. 2-0 the count. Batbusters Briggs. Ken Briggs. Roseanne Briggs, Tracy Townsend, Annie Murakami, part of their coaching staff. 3-0 the count. They're on top 4-0. The Stars with a perfect 6-0 mark as well. Tony Pusateri and Jeff Emerson, their coaching staff. 3 balls and 1 strike the count.
And this is a good pitcher's pitch down and in at the knees, inside corner. Hagemaster's thinking it's ball 4. Takes a step to first.
Here it is, hit it right down the middle that time. She's got a 4-0 lead, telling herself, I'm not walking anyone else.
You know, that's a good mentality to have when you've got that kind of a lead. Just go out and challenge the hitters. Make them put the ball in play and let your defense work.
The battle between these two with the 3-2 pitch. It's low. She did miss. She did walk her. So credit to Hagemaster. Another opportunity puts another runner on base, still without a hit. We were hearing earlier about Ashley Bartlett, her mom Sheila. Ashley is now running out there at first base. We told you about the pink bow she is wearing to honor her mom.
15, Curtis Serrano for the catcher.
Who now has a tough uphill battle with breast cancer. So she'll try and move around the bases with one out. Ashley, by the way, headed to Eastern Illinois University. Mom Sheila, we told you. Dad David. Colleen McLaughlin now. Oh, and 1 the count. Townsend in at third. She cheats in a couple of steps. The 0-1 had her way out front. She fouls that one off. No balls and 2 strikes to count. When right, McLaughlin, according to her head coach, a big power hitter. For someone who's a little bit more height-wise, anyway, diminutive in size. He had 7 consecutive extra base hits earlier this summer in a showcase tournament in St. Louis. Trying to turn 2, unable to do it. Fielder's choice. They do get the lead runner in Hagemaster. Good pitch, had her tied up there. Not able to show off any of that power. To the right side. McKenna Emerson rolls that one out. They've had their base runners, but in the end, Paige Von Spreken has shut it down. Yet to give up a hit. Four to nothing is our score. OC Batbusters, as it gets a little bit later, starting to attempt to count down and get closer to that national championship. Amanda Freed, Kara Lentz, Darren Sutton, and you. Glad to have you logged on with us wherever you may be. And an opportunity for Jordan Townsend to lead things off. This is the 18U Platinum National Championship game. Jordan takes a pitch off the plate. Emily Karsten works outside. 1-0 the count. Hugs the line. Foul ball. That one is down. We told you earlier her sister Taylor plays softball for UConn, Townsend's sister. And her coaches praise all sorts of the different aspects of her game. Most intriguing, she's got a really good eye. She took a look at that one, but the drop nips the outside corner. 1-2 the count. Karstens fires it home, on the ground, toward the hole, backhanded attempt, didn't matter. So Townsend with a base hit. 2 pitches in succession, took one and then the other one went. That's a tough pitch to hit.
That's very tough, and that pitch was lower than the one before, but when you've got 2 strikes and you're just trying to battle out, you swing and try and make contact with really anything close. And this would have been a ball, but instead turns into a base hit into left field.
Taylor Ramos gets the call. She has a chance to pinch hit. And so the first pitch is a pretty bunt. The only play is to erase Taylor Ramos. She did her job out of Rancho Cucamonga, Etiwanda High School. Ramos pitches in, coming off the bench.
When Ramos coming in to do a job, and she does it, she puts a nice sacrifice bunt down, moves Townsend over to second and into scoring position.
Pitch stays high, 1-0 the count to Olivia Russ. Rolled foul, and we'll do it again. 1-1 the count on Russ. He's had a good day thus far, been on a couple of times. That curve misses wide, 2-1 the count. Two balls and 2 strikes to count on Olivia. Came in with just 9 at-bats overall, 4 of 9 this one, off the end of the bat into center field. And for the second out of the inning, that means Townsend has to stay put. Russ singled, now has walked and flied out to center. And Amanda Lejano now gets the call. As a matter of fact, we'll have a pinch hitter in this situation. That is Reina Cervantes. So Reina gets the call now to pinch hit instead. Let's bring in Carol Lentz, the battery mates that are working. Carol, what do you have? We're not hearing her right now. That one rolled to the right side, gobbled up out there at second base. We will get back to Kara in just a bit. A nice job cleaning it up out there by Emily Karstens. 4-0. Four to nothing is the score. In the circle, doing fabulous work. Maybe been a little bit effectively wild has been Paige Von Spreken. What have you seen?
Well, I've seen no hits, but there have been a couple of base on balls hit batter. But other than that, just really settled in nicely in the circle. And then obviously at the plate, coming through huge with a big 2-run home run, helping her own cause.
Not a hit allowed as she gathers her mates together in the circle. And we move along to the bottom half of inning number 5. You get to the point when you get within that 2-inning mark, you start mentally counting down outs as the pitcher. And with a 4-0 lead, as we talked about, she's been somewhat effectively wild. A hit batter, 3 walks. She would love nothing more than to sit them down 1, 2, 3. Then you can count those outs down. She's up 4-0. Starts him off with a pitch called low. 1-0 the count. So Von Spreken against Callie DeLisi. That one nips the inside corner. Similar spot, got the inside part of the plate. According to her coach, Callie can hit to all fields. Let's watch and see if she sprays it around the diamond. That one high, 2 balls and 1 strike the count. It's interesting when you read adults when they write about their players, when they say, she keeps things interesting. Good personality, keeps team loose, keeps things interesting. Sounds like my kind of teammate. Which means she has a great sense of humor, probably isn't afraid to throw a zinger out there on occasion. Inside, good take. 3 balls and 1 strike the count on Callie.
And on a 2-1, takes his pitch inside. That's a good take on that. You swing at that, you end up hitting it into your shin, off your foot. That's what the pitcher wants you to do.
3-2 the count. If you don't get the strike right at the knees, you will get that one. And the strike zone has been a little bit higher for Eddie Lemus. Von Spreken knows it, the hitters know it. So with a full 3-2 count, I should say, a full count, better said. DeLisi ready to go. Off the end of the bat to the right side. That one is fair. It's a fair ball, so she dumps it in. A nice at bat. And I mean, it just hugged the chalk. That's the first hit of the contest. And it comes in the 5th inning.
And it wasn't a screeching line drive, but she does keep her hands inside this pitch nicely. And the ball finds its way right onto that right field line. Hey, sometimes that's all it takes to get your offense sparked and started.
Oh, and 1 the count. That high strike to Erin McMahon, and her head coach, by the way, Tony Pusateri, right on when describing DeLisi, hitting it to all fields. That's exactly how she earned her way on. Way in at third. Even the middle of the infield is in as that one is high. Coach Pusateri calling McMahon, who's in the box now, the best bunter he's ever coached.
Well, if she can lay a bunt down that first base line, she's almost guaranteed her spot on first base. Russ playing way back by first base.
Instead, it slapped toward third, gobbled up out there, charging. It took a play like that from Jordan Townsend, who was already breathing right down her neck there. Still a heck of a bunt. Good play to get her.
And that's an excellent bunt. See how she takes the pace off the ball. Great spot just out in front of the plate. If you can look at the positioning of the fielders, really, had she gotten that same bunt a little bit further towards that first base line, would have been on easily.
You said something very interesting there I'd like to follow up on. As Miranda Southall takes outside 1-0 the count. I think a lot of people would be curious how you would advise them to do it. First, 1-0 on Southall. After McMahon lays down that sac bunt. Popped up. Back of short. Harvey is there to make the play for the out. Runner stays at second. You said she took the pace off the ball. That seems like such a difficult thing to do with a bat in your hands. How would you advise bunters to take the pace off the ball?
Well, you just have to think about catching the ball. Let the ball come to you. Hold your bat sturdy. Don't bunt at the ball. Don't swing at it. And sometimes if you get that ball off the end of the bat, that helps to deaden it also. Get it away from the barrel. There's a number of different ways. You just have to go out there and practice because it really is it's a feeling. It's a touch.
What great point, too, by you. I mean, when you think about nearly putting one down for a hit when the third baseman knows you're bunting, you're telling her I'm bunting, and you still nearly beat it out. Pusateri with a sac bunt and a strikeout looking, fouls that one back. Be nice to scratch. Get something going on that scoreboard, maybe get some confidence rolling. They do have that first hit. They went ahead and moved the runner around, though she was attempting to bunt for a base hit. Pusateri with that broken left foot. Takes up and away, 1-2 the count. Tape around those ringer spikes and a brace on her foot. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. National Honor Society student. The foot has been broken for a month. Usually, when that foot's not broken, she runs very, very well. Ton of clutch hits for her team this season. Half swing, rolls it, still running pretty well with that broken foot. Up the line she goes, but a nice job by Paige Von Spreken. No longer is it a no-hitter, but now she's counting down outs.
Time is ticking down here in Irvine, California for the 18U Platinum National Championship. Take a look at Emily Karstens on the mound. On the receiving end is Ellie Hagemaster, and these two players have been playing together since they were 8 years old. When asked Ellie's mother, Lou, if she had been catching her whole life, she said, yeah, actually she has since she was 8, because basically she was the only person that could catch Emily when they first started to play together. They played in rec league, and they've been playing together ever since.
Well, it's great stuff. Respect for the catching position. We know every team needs a good pitcher, but quite frankly, no matter your age, the catcher's so valuable. In either diamond sport, you have to have such respect for those that are willing to play behind the plate. I'm sure you loved your catchers. I bet you bought all their meals.
I wouldn't go that far, but I loved my catcher. All of my catchers. And you have to create that trusting relationship with them in order to really be an effective battery.
You know, it's interesting. So I'll take it a step further. 1-2 the count, by the way, on Von Spreken. She rolls that one to the right side. Homered earlier in the contest. She'll get back into the dugout. I mean, if you've been working together for that long, there are some things sometimes that catchers have to say that not many other people would say to you, the pitcher. Maybe get you back in the line. Maybe emotions get the best of you. They're part psychologist at times to you pitchers, aren't they?
Oh, I definitely agree. And the best catchers have to know how to communicate with your pitcher. It's not necessarily what you say, but it's how you say it. And understanding their language. Because sometimes you have to be critical. You have to be demanding and commanding behind the plate. And your pitcher has to respond to that. You see this ball on that inside, trying to go curveball inside tight to Allie Dickman.
Number 24, Lauren Espelin.
Lauren Espelin also works behind the plate. We bring Kara back in.
On the topic of catchers, Lauren Espelin, who's at the plate right now, is a catcher for the Batbusters. She actually got moved up from the 14U division. She's playing with the 18U Batbusters, and there's some adjustment there. The first one being the speed of the pitch and the speed of the ball, but definitely a young kid playing up.
That's great stuff. She hit that ball really hard, too. Didn't look like she was overmatched at all. A screamer, but the defense was there. Tough break right there. You don't like hearing hang with them when you hit it like that. edging closer to an unforgettable moment, the OC Batbusters, as they are looking to wrap up a national title. They lead it by a score of 4-0, counting down the outs now. 6 outs to go, and Paige Von Spreken leads that count. She has given up just 1 hit in this contest, scattered a hit batter and a couple of walks as that first pitch is high. 1-0 the count. Emily Karstens has struck out. She's also grounded out. Down the line was something on it, but it's foul, so we'll do it again. Janine, mom, Mark, dad, when you're talking about the Karstens household. She has moved into the circle. Started this contest as the shortstop. Into right center field. 3 defenders converge, but it's Allie Dickman, the right fielder, who makes the play for the out. Well-placed pitch off the plate.
Now batting, number 12, Carly Maupin.
And so Carly Maupin receives the call from the PA announcer, steps into the box with their club down 4-0. The Illinois Stars. What an incredible journey, an undefeated tournament to arrive at this point. 0-1 the count. The folks with PGF love it when out-of-state teams are here. Decision day, championship day, even if they have to pay to change their plane tickets. 18U Platinum, 18U Premier, very diverse with regard to states, geographically diverse. 25 different states represented. The Premier Division, Platinum 15, and the 12 U's this weekend as well. Again, into right center field. But the play is made out there this time by the center fielder, Callie Thies. So 2 pretty well-struck balls, but they just can't square her up.
Yeah, a little over, a little under, hitting the ball fairly well, just not able to find the gaps. And talking one hit on today's game, and there's still 5 outs left, so they got a lot of ball game, but you're going to have to start squaring up, swinging straight through, hitting some line drives.
Hagemaster fouls that one off. 0-1 the count on Ellie. You know, to finish the thought on the representation at the 12U level, the number 2 team that ended up losing to the SoCal A's Mercado DirecTV Elite. The DirecTV Genie Elite team out of Frisco, Texas. So here we are on finals day, and of course we've gotten used to California domination, but little chips of the wall being taken out by teams from Texas and teams from Illinois, and that's just the way PGF likes it. 1-2 the count. We had your former coach and legend, UCLA coach, Sue Enquist, who won 11 national titles. I kind of phrased it to her like that. You know, spots are being taken away from these California teams. She liked it, but she couldn't admit to liking it, could she?
You couldn't quite swallow that yet, but it's happening. We're getting spread across the country, and you know, we're seeing it at the collegiate level also, and it's a lot of fun. Square back, straight through. You can feel the action at home.
That's a kind of level swing you were asking for, though, keeping your bat in the zone for a long time.
Yeah.
You foul it back directly like that, you're on it. See if she changes speeds with her here on 1-2. She went right back to something hard. It's driven to right, and it's dropped out there. Dickman was on it. Not an easy play, but in the end, a great approach.
Well, this is more of that level swing that we're talking about. Nice contact to the right side. Good level swing. Definitely playable off the heel of the glove of Dickman out there in right field.
Well, the first at bat now for Ashley Bartlett. Big power when her coach was asked to describe her. Put a nice pass on that one, 0-1 the count. Has played all over on the infield for her team. Trying to find a gap somewhere. 0-2 the count. A lot of room in left center field. Dees is really closing the gap. You can see her swung well around into right center. So I know she's protecting now, but should she pull a ball to that wall, even get it just past the shortstop, maybe an extra base added on. Instead, she goes the other way. That's a foul ball. Good protect. 0-2 the count.
Trying to stay alive in that box. It's a little flare over first base side.
Not interested. She takes outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Bartlett 3 of 12. She has scored 3 runs and driven in a pair in this national championship tournament. The 1-2. Screwball inside and a really good take. 2-2 the count. And an even better pitch. To right field. That time it is put away by Allie Dickman. Runner is stranded. 4-0. Getting ever so close. Sun setting in Southern California. Certainly glad to have all of you with us. Deanna Manning Stadium, Bill Barber Park. About 15 minutes on a good drive to the Pacific Ocean. This is a beautiful facility, and we are certainly fortunate to be here enjoying this national title game, as that one is on the outside corner to Gabrielle Calloway. Calloway has walked, reached on an error, and popped up to the second baseman as well. Pulled the string back. That one dove over the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. McLaughlin hugs the line at third. Looked like a swing there. It is. There's a strikeout. So down goes Calloway. Emily Karstens looks pretty comfortable in the circle.
Again, you talk about the depth for the Illinois Stars and coming out here with 11 players on their roster. Karstens coming in from shortstop. I mean, that tells you their entire team has got to be athletic, because you never know what position you're going to end up playing.
Maddie Roth announced her presence with authority. She popped the first in the first inning, but then it was her double, number 77, that got things moving in the right direction, started the scoring. As that one is inside. Pretty approach here.
The Batbusters were waiting for this clutch hit, this double by Roth, who scores. Gets things going for the Batbusters.
Hit a walk-off home run in the qualifier, a tournament that was played in Hemet, California. And she may be a Southern Californian. She's playing some Midwesterners, but her favorite player is a Midwesterner, Joe Mauer, who is the catcher and first baseman for the Minnesota Twins, and she'll take it. So Roth is on twice in this tournament.
For the Batbusters, number 23, Jordan Townsend. Number 23.
And so now Jordan Townsend. Callie Thies, the flex, will come out and run at first.
Fletch in the game, number 8.
Callie, Laguna Hills High School. Off to the right side. And she runs for Maddie Roth. Jordan Townsend, no balls and 1 strike the count on Jordan. Walked, singled, and struck out. No balls and 2 strikes to count, had her way out front.
A nice off-speed pitch here by Karsten. She sells this so well. You can see how it drops off the table.
Curveball misses away that time. 1-2 the count. Well, with command of the secondary pitches and the drop that you saw earlier, anything she throws straight, they're very late on just because that change of speed is in the back of their head.
Yep, and your mentality now with 2 strikes and 1-2 is to hit the ball to the right side. That keeps your hands back in case of an off-speed pitch.
Spins that one outside, 2-2 the count, no chase here. Right back out to the same spot, 3-2. OC Batbusters trying to win their 2nd consecutive title in a couple of hour span. Hit out towards short. Off the glove of the shortstop it goes. McKenna Emerson ranging to her left. I think maybe thinking a step or 2 ahead unfortunately cost her.
With 1 out, this ball hit perfectly, setting up for a double play. Maybe picks her head up just a split second too early to see about getting that lead runner, Thies, at second base.
Starts her off. That one drops in there, 0-1 the count. You know, credit to Thies, by the way. She really had a good jump because I don't know if she could have turned that double play. It would have been very close, and maybe just bearing on that bag, I think a lot quicker than the shortstop thought. Emerson made the difference as well. Outside.
Knowing she had to rush a little bit more than usual.
Pulled the string back, a fabulous pitch. Harvey tried to hang around with it, but a real tough pitch to deal with here. Look at this.
3 changeups in a row. Wow. And after the first one, you think she's not going to come back with another. After the second, there's no way she's going to throw a third, but has really good command of that pitch. She throws 3 in a row for a strike.
Entering the game for the Batbusters.
Jackie Hooper now. Jackie Hooper gets the call and a chance to hit with 2 outs here. So we'll see what Jackie has. Her 4th at bat. She's looking for her first hit of the tournament and a great opportunity here. Out of Norco High School. That one sails high. And I mean way high. On a wild pitch.
And I think this was the attempt at the 4th changeup in a row. You can see the knuckles on the ball, but maybe gets in her head a little bit, or the ball might have just flat out slipped out of her hand. Because she generally has really good command.
So Riley Thies is called upon, number 2 on that jersey, to come out and run.
Now pitch running, entering the game for the Batbusters.
So Callie Thies is at 3rd base. Her sister Riley is at 2nd. Two and 0 the count on Jackie Hooper. Freshman year, Norco High School. What a memory it was for her. CIF title, a state title, and a mythical national championship as well. All that, and you're just getting to know your locker combination. That's a great way to start high school for Jackie Hooper. And she's on. An opportunity to hit. And getting that call, she does a nice job. Hooper is at first. There may be a runner for her. Let's see, a point into the dugout doing some work here.
Number 3 re-entering.
And Olivia Russ re-enters and she will run. So a nice job by Hooper getting the call late in the contest.
Now batting number 22, Amanda Lejano.
Amanda Lejano. Amanda Panda, the nickname. I'm sure the rhymeability has something to do with it, as that one is inside. 2-0 the count. Base is full, a chance to really make this thing comfortable. This is the top of the 7th inning. Premier Girls Fast Pitch 18U National Championship game, the Platinum Division. Inside, Lejano patiently awaits. Just 11 of 27 pitches have been strikes this inning, so she is scuffling a bit. And now the pitcher, Paige Von Spreken. 2-run homer, single, lined out, and grounded out as well. 1-0 the count to Paige. Tony Pusateri will visit. And the Batbusters will all gather around. Ken Briggs over there. When you visit the Batbusters and their website, a great motto, and certainly they try to do this at all levels. We saw a title earlier in the day at the premier level. Prepare hard, play hard, and study hard. But always maintain humility in winning, dignity in actions, and grace towards others. Never settle. A nice motto for a club to have, and to have it public there. 1-0 the count. 2-0 as that one misses outside. Heard Gary Hanning in here earlier, his OC Batbusters, the premier team. They win over the Corona Angels in a fabulous national title game at the 18U level. 3-0 that final. It is a Batbusters kind of day. 3-1 the count. Paige to the right side. Play is made out there in right field by Callie DeLisi. 3 outs, and the Batbuster party continues, looking for a title.
For the Illinois Stars, number 11, McKenna Emerson. Number 11.
5-0 is our score. The OC Batbusters, ever so close to a national championship and a ticket to the Premier Division National Tournament next year. Premier Girls Fast Pitch. 0-1 the count. Paige Von Spreken fires it in there. Just that one hit allowed. That hit was a single that came back in the 5th inning. Fouled back to the screen, McKenna Emerson. No balls and 2 strikes to count on McKenna. Really playing to the right side. The outfield swung all the way around, so the pitch is outside. I guess if you're going to play a hitter the other way, you pitch away, correct?
If you're going to put the shift on, you better hope your pitcher puts the ball where you want her to put it. And you'll see that a lot of times is, you know, a defense will shift and a pitcher's job is to hit the ball into the defense, or to get the hitters, I should say, to hit the ball into the defense.
1-2 high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Corona Angels Tyson with a 14U Premier National title. The SoCal A's Myers McNee with a 16U National Championship. The SoCal A's Mercado with a 12U National title. As that one got a commit? Yes, it did. Emerson goes down on strikes. Earlier today at the Premier level, the OC Batbusters with a national title as well.
Now batting, number 10.
Now with the same club name, trying to do it again.
Well, once you get that barrel going through the zone, you got quick hands. It's hard to hold it back. And Emerson cracks the wrist a little and gets a K.
Callie DeLisi, no balls and 1 strike the count. Headed to Lakeland College in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Didn't bite as that one dives down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Olympic gold medalist Amanda Freed. My name is Darren Sutton. Carol Lentz now ready to chat with the champion should in fact they wrap it up down in the dugout. Pretty pitch. 1 ball and 2 strike the count. Callie's had a good day. She has walked. She has singled. 2-2 to Kelly. Been on twice, came in just 3 of 17, but with 6 runs batted in. Into their final hope, but trying to at least send a message on their way out. And can she beat it out? That's the way you do it. You go down with a fight.